What the fuck? What's going on, guys? Big Al's Bike and Auto here, coming at you, and I am up in beautiful northern? Is that how you say it? Northern, it's because I lived in the South for a while. Northern New Hampshire. Anyway, I'm up here and taking in the sights. Did a nice hour and change road trip today in the S600. Now here's the highway I'm supposed to be getting on, but I think while I'm up here, I was up here for work, and I'm all done. It's 11 a.m. It's a Saturday. I might as well do some scenic driving. I love seeing the mountains up here. I think I'm going to take the S600 here, a nice scenic drive. Obviously, you can see the changing leaves. Now, you guys know me. I'm a Florida guy. I moved there for a reason, and hell, I'd move back tomorrow if I could undo everything and go back. Yeah, I do regret moving up here. As crazy as that may sound, I thought maybe I could. Look at this, huh? Unbelievable. It's like a fairy tale land. It's beautiful way up here, but I could never live up here and work as far away as I do. But, geez, you know, let me say this. New Hampshire is a beautiful state. Beautiful state. I grew up here. Most of my life I lived here. So it's no surprise to me. I've seen all these towns up here in the north over the years, coming up here for, you know, skiing and such. Just look at it though. The S600 did fantastic on my trip earlier. I was getting about 22 miles a gallon on the highway, and I was going pretty fast. We're not going to talk about how fast I was going. The V12 does not stress at all at high speeds in the highway. That's what this car is built for. It's built for the Autobahn. Got some clown shoes over there, 2 of them. Nice. So I've driven this car many times since it was only a few years old, and I'm well aware of its highway capabilities and everything about it. But now that I own it, I pay a little more attention to it, obviously because I'm listening for broken things. And the car's been fantastic. No snow whatsoever where I'm at. Same state, distance of a few hours, and it's like totally different up here. It's unbelievable. Look at that. Looks like American Pickers with all the signs out there and things. And I know people are going to comment, that show's bullshit. Yeah, who cares? It's nice to watch it. So I'm going to put the camera down for now. I'm going to pull over somewhere safe, and I'm going to see if I can find any nice sightseeing destinations while I'm up here, because really, I have nowhere to be for the rest of today. I'm going to go ahead. I haven't used this in a number of years, the S600's built-in nav. Let's give it a whirl. How about points of interest here in New Hampshire around current location? Not an emergency, fortunately. How about tourists and culture? Tourist attraction. You get Paradise Point Natural something. I guess I have to hit the pound key to see what that. Nature Center. Polar Caves Park. I was kind of hoping for Mount Washington. I know it's not close, but it's not quite far either. So I'm going to backtrack here, and I'm going to see if I can search. Lets you do the address, but why don't we try the map? Perhaps I leave this open like this, but you can see it. Have to zoom back in to really get an idea of which streets I'm on. So it's not that helpful. You have to, but again, you got to remember this is old technology now. It's not like you can zoom in and out so easily like the phones let you do. And look at that beautiful view. Some rushing rapids there. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful up here. Alright, so I figured this is a nice place to stop and take a minute, take in the sights, although really, even just coming up the highway, there's just beautiful views of the mountains everywhere. I haven't been up this way in years. It's probably been at least 8 years since I've come up to the mountains of New Hampshire, the real mountains. We got mountains everywhere, but the the Appalachian mountains up here, it's been a long time. And I forgot how beautiful it is up here, so I'm glad I did this. Again, I was up this way for work, not quite this high, but about 30 minutes south of here, and I said, screw it, I already came this far. Might as well head a little bit north and take in the scenery. And I'll tell you what, the S600 looks fantastic out here with these views. And of course, it's a given, I don't even have to say it. Riding in absolute comfort and quiet and smoothness, and being able to take in these sights from one of the most luxurious cars you could buy in 2002. It's a treat. And this car still feels so luxurious today, and that's what I love about it. You know, some luxury cars, they really, and I own many of them. You look at my Roadmaster, a lot of my old Cadillacs and Buicks. Of course, they're still luxury, but they have that dated luxury feel, which I love. But I also like to have something like this that's luxury. Yeah, it's older, but you know what? This car still feels like a modern car. Its performance, its comfort, the technology. It's just the right amount of technology for me, as I've said in the previous video. I don't like cars that have all the crazy gadgets and gizmos that cars have today, with all the screens everywhere and the buttons and the this and the that. And this car certainly does have a lot of buttons, a lot of gizmos and gadgets. Let's not forget that active body control suspension. The thing that really totals these cars out when it fails, especially if you don't preventatively maintain it. And that's one of the good things about this car. It's been in my family since new, and money was never an issue in regards to maintaining it. At least with my grandfather, he had no problem bringing this thing into the dealership, and whatever it needed, it was done. Huh. I just noticed this. It's starting to rust back here. I just noticed that, didn't even notice it before. And there is some road salt down up here, which as soon as I get back to my area, I'm going to take this thing right to the car wash and wash it down. I had no intentions of driving this during the winter when they start salting the roads, which is, as you can see, coming right up. I can't believe how much snow is over there. Again, we have had no signs of snow whatsoever down where I'm at. Same state, 2 hours south, no signs of snow. And that's obviously because we're up here in the mountains, the temperatures are different. We're up here toward Canada, for God's sake. But it's coming, and it's coming soon. So this will not be getting driven much unless the roads are clean or there's minimal salt, because I hate to let it sit. Obviously not good for it either. Now, one issue these S600s, well, W220s in general have, and I'm sure many of you are aware of this. I know Uberman's had a similar issue. The doors rot out from the inside out, and this one has already had that repair done twice on the driver's door. But it's always been garage, so it hasn't been too big of an issue. But these bodies are known to rust a lot easier than the bodies in the older Mercedes, the bank vault Benzes, as I like to call them. And you can see right back here where all the road debris gets kicked up and caught. I just noticed that. Didn't even see it until now. Wasn't going to change the fact that I bought the car for the $1. That's something I should have fixed soon. Don't want to leave that like that, because it's going to turn from some bubbling into actual cancer going up the quarter panel here. So I'm glad I saw it. I'm not at the same time. Kind of a bummer. I hate to see that. But, you know, it should be able to be fixed for not too much crazy money. It hasn't actually started to rot yet. It looks like it's just bubbling. So I can definitely have my body guy sort that out. You know, not going to be cheap because he does really good work. But I'd rather fix it and not worry about it, at least for a while, than leave it like that. So anyway, guys, I'm sure you can tell by my hands, it's pretty chilly out here. The wind's howling through these mountains. I'm going to get back in the S600 with that nice heat and probably start heading back south. Again, maybe we'll see something scenic as we head back that way. Maybe I'll find a scenic route to take. But Much better in here. All right, so I just got back in the car not even 30 seconds ago, turned it on, and greeted with that lovely red ABC warning. Not what you want to see 2 hours away from home. I'm gonna get out and do a quick visual inspection of the suspension and make sure we're not extremely low here or anything like that. I didn't see anything a minute ago we were out here. I don't see any leaking going on. Could be a dummy light. I know that last week, or early this week, whenever it was, the ABC, not the red warning, but I had an ABC warning come on. Just, you know, see workshop, not that drive carefully one. The white warning. And it went away when I shut the car off. I never came back. Let's just do a quick check here on the fluid level. You can see we definitely have fluid. We're in range. So interesting that that light came on. But I know I have fluid, and well, we hope the pump is functioning. So unfortunately, I think that's going to conclude the sightseeing for today. Just to err on the side of caution. Again, the last thing I want to do is be calling a AAA up here. Just sucks to see that after I just spent $700. I'm not blaming the mechanic by any means. That's just how these cars are. You know, you got to start somewhere. We start with the accumulators. He told me that the return line was starting to show some age. But, and by the way, the gauges don't have an issue of flickering. That's just the way my cell phone captures it. So, before anybody comments what's wrong with the cluster, it's not doing that in person. Maybe I'll be staying here at the Indian Head Motel. Okay guys, let me throw the GPS back on so I can get back on my way. Look at these little cottages. What do you think? Should I rent one for the night? I'll come out. The suspension will be really on the ground by then. Very nice. Beautiful. Okay, back to the map. All right, so just a little update. I mean, it's driving okay. It's the rear suspension doesn't feel as cushioning as it did before. It almost, not like thumping going back there, but you know, don't run down in the comments and say, well, what the hell are you driving for? I mean, you can tell the rear end isn't bottomed out. I'm hauling along here, and hopefully my next update will be in my driveway with a W220. It's not sitting on its ass. All right, so I'm about 30 minutes away from home, give or take. I always stop whenever I pass by this area because it's so beautiful. But the wind is crazy out here today. It's got to be over 20 miles an hour, if not 30. This lake is usually calm as a lake. And look at it today. It's like the ocean. New Hampshire is such a beautiful state. Such a beautiful state, but there's just one problem. It's too cold here. And to be honest, after living in Miami for 4 years, I kind of became a city guy. I love the city. I love the action of every night of the week. There's always something to do, something to see. But it is nice also being up here when you don't want that and you just want to be able to relax and take in nature. So it's good to have a balance of both. But I'm hoping to get back down there real soon for the winter. I am under contract on my house. Didn't think it would sell that quick, but it is the South Florida housing market. So I am selling it, which even if I was staying in Miami, which was my plan up until recently, you know, for good, I was going to sell the house anyway. You guys saw it was just way over capacity there with how many cars I had. Running out of room, getting in trouble with the city, and not my immediate neighbors, but neighbors throughout the neighborhood were not too happy and they were complaining. So I had to sell the house anyway. So if I do end up moving back and I leave this beautiful, quiet, clean state, it's not full of weirdos, I'll end up buying a different property anyway that caters to my needs better. Kind of like what I bought up here. I just can't get over the wind, but the view is so beautiful. I mean, this is the beauty of New Hampshire. This is everywhere. We're down toward the southern part of the state now where I live. And no matter where you go, there's beauty. But I love it up where we were earlier today up in the mountains. I mean, because you have this stuff, except you have the big mountains in the background. It's like a postcard. I guess so is this. And you have these dirt roads everywhere. And old Land Rovers riding around. Big car culture up here, always has been. So the S600 is actually doing fine. The ride seems a bit bouncy in the rear end. But bouncy in the rear end. Everything I say sounds perverted. So this is the moment of truth. I gotta get back in the car. It looks beautiful out, and look at the temperature difference down here. 44 degrees, what was it, 31? We're up there in the mountains. It's a shame if I don't drive another hour and a half, 2 hours south of here to, say, Rhode Island, that it can't be another 15 degrees warmer there, like 60 degrees. And if you drive another 2 hours there, it would be 80 or 75. That would be nice if it worked that way. Nothing yet. There it is. Well, I just arrived home. Pretty uneventful ride overall, besides the ABC warning there, but whatever it is, it can't be, well, I don't want to say that, but the car made it back. The suspension feels a little beautiful. Beautiful. Nothing I love more than dropping a nice pair of keys like this on the concrete. Suspension, while it felt a little bouncy, you can see it's still right where it needs to be. Now it's in my garage. I'm gonna keep an eye on it overnight, see if it leaks anything out. Could just be a dummy light, but hey, even that bouncing of the suspension could just be in my head. Who knows? You know, you start to notice things a lot more when you think there's a problem versus when you think there's not. Not a bad day out over here. Pretty windy too, but I got some raking to do. So I'm gonna leave you guys at that. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the next one.